Chapter 1. The City of Parth. After recovering from Menusan's, or Melfina's, I suppose, sudden confession, I set out for the closest city. Along the way, she told me the general story of what had happened before my transmigration. Apparently, I had died in an accident, but it was an accident due to a slip-up by a god, a deity other than Melfina. Consequently, that god had approached Melfina, whose jurisdiction was transmigration, and begged her to take special measures. According to Melfina, this kind of thing wasn't all that rare. So even gods and goddesses make mistakes, then? You would be surprised at the number of gods and goddesses who are quite irresponsible with their powers. I'm different from them. I do take my job seriously, okay? As for this particular goddess who had been speaking to me inside my head, it turned out that she had once been an angel who had served another deity. Her long years of service had eventually been recognized, and she'd been promoted to goddess of transmigration and reincarnation in this world. Compared to her peers, she was considered a total newbie. When my case had been brought to her, she had apparently accepted it while grumbling this again to herself. Of course, I could only take Melfina's word for all of this. Right after you chose your skills, you immediately turned to press me for a contract. You went on for nearly an hour saying, "I've fallen in love with you. Please come along with me." Honestly, I was feeling a bit bored after doing this job for several hundred years, so I eventually caved in and said yes. I had no memory whatsoever of this episode, but apparently I had fallen for Melfina at first sight. Now, though, I could only hear her voice. Wait, hold on. You left because you were bored? It sounds like you are one of the irresponsible ones after all. Even gods and goddesses need a breather every once in a while. In terms you would understand, it's paid leave. Don't worry, I've thrown all of my work at my subordinate. With one thing leading to another, I haven't taken any leave for several decades already, so I thought it would be a good time to do a bit of recharging. Through your work at someone else? So you're treating my transmigration as a vacation? If that's so, I'd appreciate it if you'd at least return my memories. The discarding of your memories was something that you decided on, honey. You didn't have enough skill points, so you asked me to take your memories in exchange for more. Why on earth would I say that to someone I'd fallen in love with? What was the point of forgetting all about it right afterwards? Well, you did say. Even without my memories, I know for a fact that I will fall in love with you all over again. You were so direct and straightforward in your approach that I couldn't help but be slightly moved. In dating sim terms, it was favorability +1. Congratulations. Please let her leave it at that. I may have no memory of it, but listening to this story makes me feel like I'm being forced to relive an embarrassing episode from my history. In any case, it seems like Melfina's appearance is totally in line with my personal preferences. Now I really want to get a look at her. Does the fact that we've already contracted mean that I can summon you now? You can't at the moment. The amount of MP needed to materialize me is far beyond your current stats. Wind taken out of my sails right at the start. Guess my goal now is to gain enough levels to summon Melfina. I look forward to both your growth and another novel and exciting confession from you. There isn't going to be a confession, all right? As our conversation continued in this manner, I finally reached the top of a hill, and a city came into view. That is our destination, the city of Parth. The city appeared quite sizable, composed of brick buildings surrounded by a stone wall that looked roughly 10 meters high. I felt my heart begin to beat rapidly at the sight of a view so different from modern Japan, with "now this is fantasy" bouncing around inside my head. There was even a tall clock tower near the center of the city, with a design that wasn't terribly different from the clocks that I was familiar with. This may be another world, but perhaps our cultures are more similar than I thought. The outfit that I was wearing at the moment was casual garb for travelers in this world. According to Melfina, it was part of the standard welcome package for all transmigrators. It wouldn't raise any eyebrows, but its defensive capabilities certainly left something to be desired. The stone wall had entrances on both the east and the west sides. I approached the gate and what would be my first human interaction in this world. The guards noticed me. "Hey there. Are you an adventurer? Sorry to trouble you, but could you show me your guild card or some other form of identification?" "I'm sorry, I come from a small, rural village, so I don't have any identification." My response was something that Melfina and I had worked out in advance. A sizable portion of the population of this world didn't own any identification, so gate guards at a city of this size often issued IDs as part of their duties. It would require a bit of money, but Melfina had also given me some cash when I transmigrated, so there was no problem on that front. I suppose she was capable of doing her job properly after all. As I said, I do take my responsibilities seriously. I acquired my identification without any issues and headed towards my destination, the Adventurers Guild. Although I had been apprehensive at first, by now I was thoroughly ready to enjoy this new fantasy world to the fullest. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow. Upon the stone-paved roads ran carriages drawn by horses, clip-clopping alongside a bustling crowd of people of all ages, shapes, and forms. Whoa, that person even has animal ears. Too bad it's a guy, though. Honey, that's the guild right in front there. I looked around and saw a large building which, despite being made of bricks like all its neighbors, managed to give off a somewhat disorganized impression. All right. Here's the start of my new life. Ahem. Folks, here we are at an adventurer's guild. What an imposing appearance it has, wouldn't you agree? Well then, how about we take a look inside? What was with that random monologue? No idea. Maybe I'm a bit too excited right now. Entering the building, the first thing that I saw was a row of counters where guild receptionists were busy handling adventurers. Hey, a lot of them are quite cute. Next to the counters was a bar, where there were a few people drinking despite the early hour. The place did not feel closed in or unwelcoming, though. Rather, with groups huddled around tables to talk strategy. People milling around a bulletin board and going through what appeared to be quest posters, and others loudly and cheerfully toasting each other. The overall atmosphere was quite lively and warm. So, pretty much the usual depiction of an adventurer's guild in RPGs brought to life. It made me happy to find that it was all just as I had imagined it to be. I'd been worried that there might be only meatheads in here, but there turned out to be a sizable number of normal young men and women too. I joined one of the lines in front of a counter and waited a short while until it was my turn. "Good morning. How may I help you today?" A girl with brown hair done up in cute pigtails greeted me in a voice so bright and bubbly that it lifted my spirits. Cheerful girls are great, aren't they? I barely caught myself before being sucked into her round, blue eyes. Oops, now's not the time for that. I'd like to register as an adventurer. Registration it is. Please fill out this form here. Would you like a scribe? I'm good, thanks. As part of the Transmigration Welcome Pack, I had a full understanding of the local language, which also included reading and writing. Thank goddess for Melfina, right? Okay, so I have to fill in just my name and class. Well, that's simple enough. Name's Kelvin, class is Green Mage. Done. Thank you, Kelvin-sama. Please wait a few moments. There was a reason I had written in Green Mage. Summoners were apparently very rare in this world. A more common class of a similar nature was Tamer. Unlike Summoner, this class involved taming monsters and making them do the tamer's bidding. The ability had no MP costs, and the monsters could be kept at the tamer's side 24/7. Apparently, the higher the rank, the more monsters that could be tamed. Only in this way, however, was it similar to summoning. The advantage of summoning was that it could be used against not only monsters but also humans, elves, and even inorganic entities like golems. In addition, there were the stats boosts, the telepathic network, and the ability to summon followers anywhere within one's magical range. These buffs were, without a doubt, a very worthwhile trade-off for the MP costs. Those who could become a summoner were extremely limited in number, to the point where there might be only one, if that, in each country. The instant one was found, he or she would immediately become the center of attention for the local higher-ups. As someone who wanted to live freely and enjoy this world at my own pace, such attention would only be a hindrance. So I had decided to hide my identity as a summoner as well as I could going forward. Apologies for the wait. Here is your guild card. I was handed a blue card decorated with wings that bore the letter F. So this is how a guild card looks. Nice. Now, please allow me to provide a simple explanation of the guild system. According to the receptionist, adventurers were separated into 7 different ranks. She even had a little board as a prop. Rank F, Newcomer, left-pointing arrow Kelvin San. Rank E, Novice. Rank D, Intermediate. Rank C, Veteran. Rank B, Master. Rank A, Monster. Rank S, Inhuman. My rank was specially indicated with cutesy handwriting. Yep, thanks, that does make it really easy to understand. As you've only just registered, you will be starting from rank F. The guild accepts various quests from a large range of sources, which we then assign ranks to and release for adventurers to accept. In other words, as a rank F, I can only take on rank F quests. You can accept quests 1 rank above your own. However, there will be a breach of contract penalty if you end up failing the quest, so please be mindful of that. Makes sense. That's how they prevent people from carelessly punching above their weight. After completing 10 quests in a row, you will move up to the next rank. Quests of a rank higher than your own will not provide any special bonuses. Please note that rank ups from rank C and above will require an exam. Gotcha. As for the quests themselves, there are 4 general classifications: subjugation, bodyguard, harvesting, and unique. For subjugation quests, a part of the target's body will be necessary to serve as proof of success, so please don't forget to bring it back with you. They need proof? What if I end up not being able to carry it? Like if I end up hunting too many targets? Are there any good quests for a beginner to start out with? Of course. Would any of these interest you? Subjugate. 3x blue slimes. Harvest. 5x medicinal grasses. Unique. Find my cat. So, basically, the most fundamental ones. And it seems that unique quests are those that simply don't fit any other classification. Honey, how about using the blue slime quest as an opportunity to try establishing a contract? Blue slimes would be perfect for a first attempt. Guess we thought of the same thing. I also want to try out summoning as soon as possible. In a place beyond prying eyes, that is. I would like the blue slime quest, please. The blue slime quest. Very well. I officially accepted the quest and left the guild. I didn't learn this until later, but the receptionist's name was Ange. Guess I'll be in her care quite often going forward. Well then, let's move on to getting myself properly equipped. I don't have much money, though, so it's only going to be a basic weapon and some recovery items, I guess. A wooden rod would be good. It provides almost no buffs to physical damage, but a faint amount of magic is contained within. It should at least make it easier to cast spells. And with that decision, I used up almost all of the cash that I'd arrived with. For the sake of tonight's lodging fees, onward. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. Without further ado, I left the city and made my way to a nearby plain. As far as the eye could see, it was plains, plains, and more plains, with only the occasional tree. It was so quiet and tranquil that I couldn't get the thought "it's so peaceful" out of my mind. I had no idea if it was sheer luck or not, but even while walking along a forest road on the way to Parth, I hadn't encountered a single monster. Couldn't have asked for a better place to explore my abilities. They said this is the general area where blue slimes appear. I looked around to see if there were any nearby. Eventually, I spotted a blue, jelly-like thing a short distance away. That is indeed a blue slime. How about trying to view its stats first? Following Melfina's suggestion, I activated Analyze Eye. Although I hadn't known how to use it beforehand, the skill immediately went into effect the moment that I thought about it. It felt as natural as breathing. Seems like I won't have a problem using any skill that I possess. Blue slime, 0Y0, genderless, blue slime. Level 1. Title. None. HP. 5/5. MP. 0/0. 0/0. 0/0. Strength. 1. Endurance. 1. Agility. 2. Magic. 1. Luck. 2. Skills. Blunt damage resistance. So this is Analyze Eye. Apparently, it can tell me anything about my target. Analyze Eye can be used not only on living creatures but on items as well. Your skill is currently at rank S. For living creatures, you can analyze targets up to 100 levels above you. You can also analyze inanimate objects up to your current rank. Doesn't that mean it's effective against basically everything? Hold on a moment, when I tried to read your stats, all of the fields came back as unknown. Does that mean that your level is above 100? Well, I am a goddess, after all. How much MP am I going to need to summon you? But I've gotten derailed. For now, I've got to focus on the blue slime in front of me. I slowly inched towards the creature. I wanted to establish a contract with it, but for that, I needed its consent. Do I talk to it to convince it? For monsters that don't understand words, you'll have to weaken it enough for it to be willing to submit to you. If you activate a contract at that time, then the monster should consent. It's like the "so-and-so looks like it wants to be your friend" thing. Clearly, Melfina-san was quite familiar with modern Japanese game franchises. But back to the matter at hand, it seems like the slime might die from a single magic spell, so let's try to attack it with the wooden rod itself. Take that. I unleashed a blow at the blue slime, with only a small amount of power behind the swing. It was sent flying several meters, bouncing a few times on the ground. I activated Analyze Eye again. Remaining HP, 0.3. Let's try contracting with it now. I held my hands out over the creature, which looked like it was currently trying to recover, and mentally willed it to contract with me. Ah, I feel something being drained out of my body. Is that supposed to happen? When attempting to establish a contract, half of your remaining MP is expended, regardless of whether your attempt succeeds or fails. What you felt just now was probably due to using a large amount of magic all in one go. Tell me important things like that beforehand. Anyway, did I succeed? I turned to look at the blue slime just as it began to glow with a white light. That's too bright, dude. Congratulations. The contract has been successfully established. So we're done? The monster that you've just contracted with does not yet have a name. Would you like to try giving it one?